twinkle in their eye and a pounding in their heart. These determined Detroit Pistons have captured the first 2 games of the NBA Finals, soaring past their foes from the West. So now the pressure lies squarely on the Lakers, who have been frustrated at every turn, as the bad boys from Motown are halfway toward an NBA World Championship. The defending champions from Los Angeles face a steep climb in these NBA Finals. And in Game 2, that hurdle grew even steeper as Magic Johnson limped off in agony. In his absence, the Lakers performed with courage and character, but those efforts went unrewarded. And as a result, the champions are on the ropes, desperately searching for answers. The Pistons' dream of an NBA championship is within their grasp. But the crown still belongs to the veteran Lakers, who must have a little magic to retain it. A glorious Sunday afternoon in Southern California. Looking out here on the coast, Los Angeles, the harbors, and then inland with a fresh coat of paint, the Forum in Inglewood, California, and some very uneasy fans in here because despite the fact that the Lakers have won the last 2 NBA Finals, they now find themselves trailing Detroit 2-0. Faces of the Lakers who were out here earlier today with the shoot-around and the pressure is squarely on them. Byron Scott will be unable to play today. We are still waiting to find out about Magic Johnson's status for this game. So we welcome everybody to the 1989 NBA Finals. It's Game 3 coming your way between the Detroit Pistons and the Los Angeles Lakers. Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome. I'm Brent Musburger. And how important is this particular game? Well, I'm sure down on one of our production trucks outside the arena, there's a graphic that says no team in the history of the NBA has ever won a championship trailing 3-0. Obviously, the Lakers know what they have to accomplish here today. The question that you want answered is, what about Magic Johnson? Let me take you back to Game 2. It was Thursday night, Auburn Hills, Michigan. Score was tied at the time. Watch Magic there on the left hand. You perhaps have seen this video over and over for the last couple of days. But how about the Warrior wanting to stay on the floor? And the trainer telling him there's just absolutely no way. Now, a short time ago, he led the Lakers out onto the floor. The left hamstring thickly taped. And after going through a drill, he headed back toward the Lakers locker room. And let's go down there now to Pat O'Brien. Pat?
All right, Brent, just inside the locker room here, about 5 feet in, is Magic Johnson riding an exercise bike, trying to keep warm. They figure this is a better workout for him in there than it is out there. The word is here, they all seem to think he's going to play. They've sort of given him the okay to play. The big decision is only with Magic Johnson. Whether or not he feels that he can play, it's all up to him. It's the biggest kept secret in the Forum this afternoon. A story we'll stay on. During the game, if he plays, he will come back in here to keep warm rather than sit on the bench when he's out of the ball game. So it's a story obviously we'll be watching all afternoon long. Brent?
All right, Pat. Thank you. And obviously, Pat Riley, he could start Magic here today, or he could bring him off the bench and give them an emotional lift with this crowd coming alive. They're going to need the crowd here today. Now, let's go down to the gentlemen who are going to be calling the action for you, Dick Stockton and Hubie Brown. Dick?
Thank you very much, Brent. The psychological effects cannot be discounted because of the injuries to both Scott and Magic Johnson, but the crowd should help him. It was an early arriving crowd and they're in place. But the Laker regulars have really not played that well, and you can thank the Detroit Pistons. If the series is 2-1, the Pistons will have to think. If it's 3-0, they'll be thinking of champagne. And Hubie Brown, who has to come forward for the Lakers this afternoon?
Well, I think James Worthy must come in with a big game, Dick, in a high field goal percentage night. Then the center position with Kareem and Michael Thompson. They need not only the points from there, but the shot blocking and the rebounding. Must intimidate in the lane.
I would think the Pistons want to just keep that ball going, huh?
Well, the guards are dominating a series off the dribble. They're breaking the Laker defense down. And then their own defense with the shot blocking and then getting every loose ball. Very impressive.
All right, game 3 ready to start. Right now, let's go back up to Brent, and here's Magic.
Thank you, Dick, as Magic Johnson now returning to the floor, and the crowd certainly welcoming his return. As for the Detroit Pistons and their fine coach, Chuck Daly, he is going to be coaching with a very heavy heart here this afternoon. Just a short time ago, he got word of the death of a close friend, Jack McMahon, longtime head coach and assistant in the NBA, has died at the age of 60. McMahon most recently was an assistant coach for Don Nelson with the Golden State Warriors. A few years back, Jack and Chuck Daly were the assistants for Billy Cunningham when the Philadelphia 76ers swept through to an NBA championship. So sometimes the game is not the most important thing in a person's life. We come back now. It'll be game 3 of the NBA Finals, Los Angeles and Detroit on CBS.
CBS Sports coverage of Game 3 of the 1989 NBA Finals is sponsored by Miller Lite, sole sponsor of the match of the century, Lightomania. Delta Airlines, we love to fly, and it shows. And by Plymouth and the 9 most important words Plymouth knows.